Astralis, Device, it's the Golden Five. They're back together again.
They absolutely are. This is going to be a really interesting best of three, so let's get it live already. Vitality on the T side, Astralis on the CT side, and we are on Dust 2 for the first map of the best of three. We're looking out long. Cyro's taking a bit of a charge. That's a nice fight to win. It's Glock versus USP, and he is running to catch Sip. He's going to slink back around the corner, so they nearly would have got him there. That would have been probably a knockout if they could have done that. Instead now, we'll see if they can survive this fight long range. They've picked up one of the USPs, and they can slow it down. The bomb's on the other side. They've sold it. If they walk in now, there's an MTB bomb side. Astralis have completely bought this. They have rotated everyone to the A side, and they're about to be so shocked.
Oh, and there's the plant. But they realize, however, that there is perhaps a gap here. Shoxy's all alone on that B site. There has to come the rotation quickly here from Vitality. They have to get over there to help Shoxy.
Sip knows two are in the middle, so that's a lot of counting going on. Shock's in the corner. He's going to go down. Megas with a big kill. They're defusing the bomb, but it's 10 seconds. And coming in from upper dark, he can spot it. It's Navira with the headshot, and no one's defusing now. Dupree, I don't think there's anything he could do. He does not have a kit. 10 seconds is way too long, and it's going to be Vitality to win the pistol round. What a shocking beginning.
Where was the kit?
I don't know.
Where was it?
It could have been out on long for all we know. It could have been down to Saiwu at the beginning in the opening 10 seconds.
Nightmare. What a round, though, dude. That could not have been better. What a perfect round to kick things off here. Vitality. I love that approach. They could have tried to go slow. They could have tried to slow play it, right? Set up a strategy. No, they decided to play brave, go straight at Astralis, and establish themselves within the first round of the first map of this best of three. It's exactly what they had to do. They had to destabilize Astralis early.
And you know, normally to try and sell that kind of a strategy to Astralis in a normal round, it's going to be almost impossible because they're so good at not doing that really quick rotation. But in pistol rounds, you almost have to do that. I mean, Astralis actually have to be pretty quick doing that because that's just the nature of pistol rounds. So I bet later on, if you just go take a fight at long and win it, you're not going to get the entire Astralis roster rotating to A. That's just not how it works. But yeah, they picked the perfect round to do it in. They're going to try and get in here. A little bit of revenge. MP9 on Dupree. That's a lot of kills. Glaive, though, no 1Ds yet. Magus is about to show up, but luckily, Shox is going to take care of business. And that's really important. Now they can focus on the main entries into the bomb site. If Glaive is still down there, that just allows more people to start streaming in. They've taken a lot of damage, though. Vitality 3-on-3. And once again, no kit in play.
So they need to be a little bit patient here, but yeah, without the kit, it means that it's just so difficult to get in here with enough time. They have to find the kills immediately. Xipnix is going to kick things off strong, but he gets traded out, and that's Apex holding strong from the window. They figured out where Device is. It's a 1v1. Apex, no health, but there's no time for Device, and he is going to be forced into the open. Apex was waiting for him, and that is how it's done. Another big clutch here for Vitality. 2 clutches in 2 rounds, Anders.
Yeah, and he survived on 4 health at the end there, Apex. That was about to be maybe a little bit too scary, but job well done at the end of it. I like the fact that they were out there taking the fight outside of the bomb site. That could be a nice way to do that. But that was about to go horribly wrong. They control the scenario. It's going to be a 3rd round.
Well, I like to see Shoxy shining right out the gates here because as far as the tournament is concerned, he is overperforming. He's hit the ground running this year. He's really, on a personal level, just nailing it. He's got a 126 rating, and that is, I mean, that's right up there. Top 5 performer in the tournament so far individually. So it's like a lot of focus always gets put on Zywoo, but the rest of the team on Vitality are really coming into their own and starting to get into their comfort zones as well. And if you've got guys like Shoxy, like RPK, who are going to start coming into their own and really performing,
yeah,
that's insane. Vitality are going to be so dangerous.
I mean, I think you can make a strong argument that Vitality would end up winning. I picked Vitality to win this against Astralis.
I picked Astralis, so you know we're right there. I wore my tie today. I saved this red tie for this match right here.
Perfect, absolutely perfect. They've done a lot of damage in this round, Astralis. It's actually pretty impressive. I mean, combine that with the last round where they got the 4 kills. This time it's only 2, but you could tell Nivira. That was, by the way, from Spawn, I think. So he could have almost died at the beginning. And if they survive with this, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's acceptable for the French side. But we shall find out here in a second if there's going to be another kill. If he steps into the lineup here, that could be a problem. Nearly. All right. I don't know if Sip is saving the Mac 10 there or not. I'd say just go for it.
Yeah, just hang on to that. I mean, it's fun just looking into it right now. But this is only across 4 maps. You know, Dupree, Astralis, they've played 6 maps. But RPK is right up there. He's number 6 right now, or 7 in terms of performance in the tournament. Wait, let me do math here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's number 6. So it's like you've got Zywu,
high-level math.
You've got Shoxy, you've got RPK.
Yes.
They're all there in the top 6 of the tournament for Vitality in terms of individual performance. So individually, the fragging is going to be there. The thing is, though, is that kind of plays into Astralis, because Astralis, it's like, okay, yes, the individual, it's good, but the team, the system from Astralis more than makes up for the individual performance.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think Vitality have that as well now. I really think these two teams are so far ahead of anyone else in the world right now. I think if you had to make, I mean, I know people keep saying that Na'Vi is 3rd in place, but I just think the gap between the top 2 and everyone else is really huge at the moment in a way that hasn't always been true in Counter-Strike. We've seen in the past that you could have a big gap between number 1 and 2, so like it's one team and then the rest of the field, but I really think this is a very interesting time for Counter-Strike just for that reason. Something else that might be worth pointing out is that Vitality have won the first 3 rounds here on Dust 2, and on the T side, and it's last time they played, it's very, very hard for any of these two teams to get any T rounds. So I would say normally it's not such a big deal that you win the first 3 rounds after winning the pistol, but right now, I actually think it does make a big difference. So let's see if they can continue here. Up on Catwalk, quick push right into Device, and he's now picked up that AWP, and he's going to continue breaking Navira and RPK first, and Zywu in with a little bit of a return. Shots in Upper Dark, and he wins the battle against Dupree. That is great news, because otherwise they were in trouble. 3 versus 3, a retake, but they know Shox is behind them. How do they retake this?
You have to move fast, and losing zip that long is not going to help things. Apex takes Clay's head off, and there it is. The final kill from Shoxy on the flank. Vitality, 4 rounds in a row on the T side, just battering Astralis. And this is where Astralis are trying to figure out what exactly it is that the Vitality is going to do, because they haven't played each other recently. They played right before the player break, end of December, but going into this tournament, not a lot to go off of for Vitality in terms of Dust 2 info. So Astralis aren't really sure like what it is that they changed over the break, whereas Astralis have played Dust 2. And so Vitality, they've got a little bit of information to go off of here. They kind of know perhaps a little bit of what Astralis have prepared for this map. Granted, Astralis are going to try and change things up map to map, but Vitality have info and Astralis don't. And we may be seeing that right now, at least at the beginning here.
It's a very, very cool round for Vitality. They win for a number of different reasons. Obviously, the fact that they were down 2 men, so 3 on 5 at the beginning. But then the fact that they still get the bomb site, the fact that he got another kill afterwards, I don't really rate that highly, but the first kill that he gets, that allows them to get the bomb down, and then when Shox wins the fight in Upper Dark, you can see that even for Astralis, and again, they're such an experienced team, you could tell they weren't sure how to deal with that. We know we have to retake the A-bomb site, we know how to do that, but what about the guy that's shooting us in the back all of a sudden? That caused a lot of stress, you could tell, even from how they were moving around, so...
Do you think... Okay, so hold on. Device gets those 2 kills.
Yeah.
In the back of my head, I'm like, he re-peeked that, and then he goes back for a 3rd.
Right.
That's not really characteristic of Device. I feel like Device would have gotten the 2 and like backed off to retake with Zip. You know, just focused on long and focused on the retake. Him going for that 3rd. Do you think Device, on an individual level, he could be feeling a little bit of pressure, considering all of the talk is about him and Zywu, and obviously Simple, but Simple isn't in this right now. But like, you know,
maybe
on an individual, he's going to be forced to feel like he's got to make more plays than he normally would.
It's hard to say. I mean, I think maybe even more so individually, just in that moment. Once you hit the first 2 shots, adrenaline's just there, and you just think, okay, like I'm doing it. This is gonna be just fine. But I kind of agree anyway, because I think, you know, with perfect 2020, you know, vision, hindsight, and all the rest of it, you could have said, yes, if he got those first 2 kills and they just go back long, wait for the reinforcements in CT spawn, probably things are going to be fine. And they can just do that. But
the difference is that Device to me is a systematic player. He was one of the first players to use heat maps for his opping, to use statistics for his opping, to figure out where he needs to be when he had to make those adjustments. Like, he is a systematic guy. He's not a Kenny or a Simple who just thrive in the moment and it just feels like pure emotion when you watch them play. Device is just, he's got a system and he sticks to it. That's why I'm just a little, you know, it's a little observation there that we're picking up at the beginning. But this is the second big buy round here from Astralis, and now or never, man. They have to get on the board here on the CT side.
Well, it's very, very hard to oversell what a huge impact this is going to have on this particular map. The fact that they've won 5 in a row here, Vitality. I just want to remind you, when they were playing this in the grand finals during the fall series, it was Astralis winning 8 rounds in a row on the CT side to begin the series with, and it still ended up 16-14, by the way. But, you know, just think about that. if just compared to what we're seeing here. And the first 2 rounds that Vitality won back then were on the T side were just really fluke rounds. They probably shouldn't have won. That game probably should have been 10-0 to begin with. And it didn't turn out that way. But this is something completely different. They're playing a very cool game at the moment. If you're in Apex, picking up a couple of kills, and look at Apex. He's so close to catching them there. He still might, though, with another headshot. He's finally going to get taken down. But Magisk inside of the site alone. And if he dies, it's a 2-on-2. It's an afterplant. And they're going to be in trouble. And RPK, clean headshot, very smooth. He knew that Magisk was going to be back there. And now they're going to get the bomb plant. They still have a smoke and a Molotov. Going to use it maybe a bit early, but I guess they want to be safe about it.
Yeah. Don't take risks in this sort of scenario. Shoxy, however, is in just the nastiest of positions, and we'll see if Glaive can win this. AK versus M4, it's not going to be easy. And Glaive, does he check this corner when he comes around? He's got that other angle, and the timing from Shoxy is impeccable. Swings just as Glaive is checking spawn. That could not have been better. And while Zipnix is going to be able to back off and save this AWP, but Astralis are going to be hurting here, Anders. I mean, that is 6 rounds in a row on the T side for Team Vitality, and it's worth mentioning that both of these teams are CT-sided on this map. Their stronger side is the defense, is on CT.
By an enormous amount. So
for them to be behind here, Astralis, at the beginning, they just like to make life hard for themselves. You know, it's like the beginning of this tournament against EG, you know, Inferno 16-14. Had to just go the distance like that.
That's... If that's what they want, that's exactly what they're going to get. Because, again, Vitality is just a different caliber of team. And I think making it back, even at this point, I really think Astralis are in trouble on this particular map. And I'd be very, very interested. Now, I will say this, because I've been watching that game from the Grand Finals last time many times. And it's just so clear to me that if Astralis are going to go back and work on Dust 2, then all of the work is just going to be put into their T side. So... maybe that's possible that they've done that. Maybe they themselves have done a lot, but it still shouldn't change the fact that their CT side shouldn't be crumbling in this fashion.
Well, what we're seeing a lot is it seems to me that they are really focusing on long Astralis on the CT side. They've been taken advantage of several times now, Vitality, where they're working up catwalk, they're working out mid onto B. They're not focusing long at all. Whereas Astralis, they've got Zipnix over there anchored pretty much the whole time. He's not in the fight. He's never there to help out. And so we'll see if Astralis now are going to decide to start cheating it back. And already Zipnix, he's kind of playing a little bit more of a passive angle. And yeah, they're going to start making that adjustment, Astralis, now, where he starts to come back over to the A side. Glaive is up on short, and there's going to be more of a focus on the mid of the map.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, actually, with this particular setup between Sip and Glaive, they would have even had a third man there. That's very common for them to play either 3 long or 3 catwalk, and they sort of rotate that little team of players around. So very clear signal early on from Astralis. They think this is going to be a B split. That's exactly what we can see right now. And so far, it looks like they're actually about to be right. Now, the thing is, when Vitality do these B splits, they almost always have Apex on the catwalk, and sometimes he'll make a jump down into CT spawn, or even just catch people flanking in, and it's really cool. Oh, only the 1 kill, though, as the smoke fades. Saibu quick with the reply, and now Dupree showing up, and he really wants to get here, but walking in just as they come could be very dangerous. They're going to get a couple of kills there, and that will shut it down. Also, Apex will be found by Sip, and I think, yeah, that's probably Sip having studied his opponent, because, again, it's something that you'll see if you go back and watch previous Vitality games, that Apex is on his own a lot of the time doing that kind of thing.
He needs to be on that lurk. In-game lead. There's a shot. Ooh, he hits it. Shoxy getting legged. Down to 18 health. And so, Team Vitality now, this is looking very good for Astralis. As Shoxy makes his way out, he's not going to check close. Glaive is going to win that duel. Revenge for the last round. And that leaves Zaiwu in a 1v4. And with the time working against him here, this totally favors Astralis. He's going to be walking out into the catwalk, and we've already got Device in position to deal with this.
He's going to jump straight into battle, and they don't lose anyone else, which, you know...
Excellent.
Yeah, right now, they just need to turn this entire thing around, and I'll call it early now. Even if this somehow finishes 9-6, I'm still going to say Vitality came away with a very, very good first half. I think that's how potentially devastating this is. So I really think this is on Astralis to completely rediscover themselves on this map right here and just lock this down, because otherwise they could really be in trouble. 8th round, though. All AKs on the Vitality side.
And back into the nade game here at long early. Astralis, they were making a little bit of an adjustment here, a little bit of a call, thinking that Vitality were going to put some pressure at long early this round, that this would be when Vitality were going to make the change. Not the case. Device is going to have to rotate back over, but he was posted up with that AWP ready and waiting for him. So some adjustments already getting made here. Glaive, however, aggressive on catwalk, not going to find the kill on Zaiwu, but still just keeping Vitality honest.
I really like that from Glaive. I think he gets flashed in as well, at least for one of those, by Dupree in the middle. So they have some pretty cool flashbangs to go for that kind of aggression. He's still sticking around. This is a position that gets Molotov'd a lot. So, yeah, now he's started to make his way back, and the timing for that might have been very good indeed. Device going to toss in a grenade. Won't do that much. And we're about a minute on the clock here. Bomb still outside of B, and that's where they might end up once again. We'll see.
Now if they actually have the nades to use as well, Astralis. Big focus on the damage there. Dupree's got that incendiary ready to go in case they do decide to go B. They are fully gathered up in mid, however, Vitality. But the bomb is getting passed up to top catwalk, and this is looking like it's going to wind up on that A site, and Device is close by. We're going to get a rinse-repeat sort of scenario here from what worked earlier.
Now, let's see, because one of the really impressive things last time they played on the A-bomb site specifically was how good Astralis was at retaking the site. Almost no matter what, they would win those A rounds, so I'm curious how this will play out. RPK goes down, there's Device with a killer. Now they can slow play it, 20 seconds, gonna be a bit of a flash to set it up for Glaive, and he'll take that kill, no problem against Nivira. So, not even talking about a retake here, they're just defending the bomb site very well at the moment. 10 seconds on the clock, Apex swings, and actually pretty impressive double kill, all things considered, but time had simply run out here for Vitality, so it'll be Astralis with a second round on the board.
Yeah, there's the adjustment made. Device not feeling like he has to do everything. He had Glaive there on ramp to help, and you saw that first kill, falls back, sets the flash up for Glaive. You see the system, the protocol come into place here now for Astralis to just slam the door on Apex's nose. He's like, ow, that hurt. And well, now we have to see, because this is going to be a round of eco out of Vitality. Astralis with those 2 rounds have set themselves up now to start a run of their own here in this first half, because now it's Vitality who are going to be the ones who are struggling. They're not going to have all their nades and everything for another round. So could be just a very straightforward sort of approach here from Vitality, looking for picks. And Nivera, was that a jumping headshot?
It might have been, but also no head armor on Dupree. So
Dupree.
And also Sip has no head armor, Glaive has no head armor. Normally we don't care so much about it when you're on the CT side, but you know, you're up against a Glock or a P250 in this case. It makes a difference all of a sudden.
Now Nivera's got a gun to play with. Jumping headshots on them, that's always just infuriating. Still, Astralis now kind of focused on that mid area, and they have relegated Zip to long. So we're back into this sort of play here. Zip, no nades to work with either. It's going to come down to just the tough work. Glaive is rotated back to help him out, though, and so this is an excellent read from Astralis. They figured this out. The full focus here on long. There's going to be 2 players ready and waiting, and there are no flashes to help Vitality.
They almost caught Glaive running into that. That's incredibly scary. A really good job between Glaive and Sip, and that will shut it down, so yeah. I mean, a lot of damage being dished out. Don't get me wrong, this is pretty impressive, all things considered. For Vitality, getting 3 kills in this round is probably way more than they should have got away with. Strong reminder for everyone to buy that head armor, even if you think you're going to be doing fine. Yeah, YouTube, Dupree. Yeah, you know.
I love watching Dupree, man. He's always got him and Apex, man. They've always got that emotion going. Well, Apex, I mean, Tarek was calling it out yesterday where we should just, somebody please put together a compilation of Apex at the end of this tournament. Just Apex reaction shots.
Yeah, there's a rich environment for a lot of content based on that. We'll see. Someone's going to do it one of these days. Hold on. Some shots coming through. Actually, Dupree sticking around. I'm kind of a little bit surprised at that. Device is all the way back here, and wonder how long they're going to leave him. It could be very dangerous to leave your Opera in this position for too long.
Look at Glaive's positioning, though.
Oh, dear. How did he get here?
Does this work out for him? He's going to hear footsteps. That's so big.
Now, if he just goes down, maybe Vitality will be all right with it, although it could cost them a lot of time. And if nothing else, just staying here, that's what he's doing here. He's buying time off of their clock at the moment, and it's going to be very, very annoying. Nivira and RPK are trying to sort of pincer him in, but now Dupree's going to be showing up from Catwalk. So, yeah, they get that kill, but a minute left, and we'll see how long before they check everything else.
That's the thing. Now they have to go ahead and recheck, reclaim all of this area, and Dupree is hanging out here just waiting for a pot shot on somebody. And so this is burning so much time off the clock for Vitality. There's Device. He finds Shoxy. That was in pit at long, and so that's cleared up now for Astralis. Device is going to be able to back Dupree up. And in the meantime, Vitality is still trying to find an opening here.
Almost screwed that up, Dupree. That looked like it was about to go horribly wrong. And also, Sip took a lot of damage through the wall in the middle, but 30 seconds, 2 versus 4. Magisk is actually playing outside, or was for a minute here playing outside. He's back into the bomb site, but I think they know. They have a very good read on what's coming. The grenade, just to sort of warn them, yep, we know what's next. And you could tell how hesitant they are. Nobody wants to be first into this. A grenade lands on top. Oh, but that is a great shot. And another trade. RPK now in a 1 versus 2. This can actually be done. He's going to smoke this up, and he's looking right under, making his way across, and he's had no time to fake it. Dupree might show up to take him down, but he can't actually quite see him. Real interesting. RPK will take him down, and he might be low on health, but all he needs is one missed shot out of Device, and he could somehow win this. 1 versus 3 as well, and that would be absolutely gut-wrenching. He's got the right position, the right idea. Device is walking in, but he does not use the AWP. It's a Deagle instead, and Astralis pick up the round only barely.
Device with the shotgun, essentially. I mean, you gotta go for it. This is wild. What a round. That was everywhere. Action all across the map. No way, dude. Apex is just so much fun to watch.
I bet you it doesn't just stop on. I bet you could make a series where you just take him to different restaurants and try food he's never tried before. There's a whole universe of just Ape. I know we all have like reaction videos on the internet in general, but Apex reaction videos would be a whole new universe right there.
Magus has got to be like tilting off the face of the planet right now, though. He is struggling to get anything going for himself holding this Dust 2 site. Even with getting the 1 kill, it just feels like he's just getting one-tapped every time somebody comes around the corner. If they exit the tunnels onto the site, it's RPK taking his head off. That time it was Zywoo. He can't be too pleased with how things are going right now. He's got 4 kills, 2 assists for 9 deaths.
Yeah, it's been a tough first half for him so far. And then this time he knew they were coming. There was really nothing much to speculate about. Ooh, well, both AWPers wanted to take that fight, but Zywoo had the faster rifle this time. Device goes down. Now that opens up a lot of options. For one thing, they know Device isn't going to be out on long if they want to go for that catwalk execute like they've been doing a couple of times already. So that's a luxury all on its own. Dupree has picked it up in the meantime, and he's definitely very, very capable of AWPing. We've seen that before. Shock's actually putting a lot of pressure on here. Let's see if they turn this into a B-split once again. Shock's even getting a kill as he jumps down into CT spawn, and it isolates Magus. He is so dead. It's going to be RPK to take him down, and I'm shocked that Sip has picked up 2 kills. Another one as well, dropping Apex. How are they losing that many players? They had essentially already lost this round, or won this round, Vitality. They were in such a good position. They still might win it, but I can't believe it's even this close. Finally, the bomb is being planted inside of B, but this looked like it was done 20 seconds ago.
Oh, man. Yeah. This should have been done 20 seconds ago, except the bomb gets dropped, and that just throws everything out of whack. And now Glaive has joined up. They're out of utility, though. Can they find a flash grenade anywhere? That would be crucial right now to get back onto this site. Instead, it's just going to be the single smoke, creating a little bit of space. They've got that HE on Glaive as well. He's going to chuck that in, too. Back of the site. Big damage. Nearly takes RPK. That sets it up for Zipnix, and there it is. The retake from Astralis. Picture perfect. Getting the maximum value out of their utility every single time, man. It is nuts. Astralis are so efficient with the grenades.
I'm so shocked that Vitality lost this round. Let's see this from Sip right here. So he charges through the smoke. Oh, he catches one, another one, and then third man's ready to fight. This is disgusting. I just don't even know how they lose that round. I mean, the retake is very impressive. Such a good job, yeah. But that should have been Vitality winning the round every single time. What a crazy world.
Anders, Astralis are on fire now.
5 in a row. Yep, they are doing a good job. Oh, is that the deep smoke for CT spawn? This might be a very, very quick execute into the middle. Yep, so they're throwing that all the way from outside of long, and it's gonna land. Yep, there we go. But Sip doesn't apparently care about smokes. He's gonna take one now. They're getting completely chewed up. So, wow. That was, otherwise, that is really, really cool because obviously normally you'd set up that smoke from the headshot box in the middle, the one that's right in front of Shock's here.
Yep.
And you sort of wait and you wait for it to land and it's very signaled. You throw it all the way from outside of long. It's there, you know, it bounces off the wall sort of the same way, but it's really quick and you can have people running out right afterwards. So a little bit shocking that Vitality got caught in such a beautiful fashion there by Astralis. Great setup, great shots coming out, and now we're tied 6-6 with Sip at 14-5. He is doing so well right now.
This is the thing with Astralis. I'm just checking real quick. Yeah, utility damage. just across the board, they're just so efficient with it. It's just nades, bullets. But like you see those smokes down? I mean, this is the thing that makes an efficient CT side is that if you spot telltale grenades like that, grenades that you don't see every round, you tend to know what's coming next, and you put yourself in a position to punish it. And so that's what we saw from Zipmix there. Full mag spray right through that smoke, thinking, well, odds are there's going to be somebody behind this.
Yeah.
And sure enough, there was. So this is that's what's just so insanely difficult about playing against these teams on the CT side. They're so prepared. It's what makes it so difficult on the T side to keep developing. You have to keep innovating, because if you use the same strategy twice, that's it. The first time, the analysts have figured it out. Glaive knows he's got it downloaded, and then the second time, he's going to be ready for you.
All right, a little bit of chaos in the middle here. Something else that is certainly a luxury right now for Astralis on this particular comeback that they're on. It's just the fact that now Simon doesn't have the AWP all of the time. They can avoid that, and that's been obviously a problem for them. He's really been hitting shots with that AWP, so when they run out of money and he can't afford it, that is something that's just going to be great news. 7-6. I listen, this is why I called it earlier. I'm going to stick to it. Even if this ends up 9-6, I absolutely am. I would not be high-fiving if I was on the Astralis side. I would still be very, very worried. So it's looking good right now, but I wouldn't want to celebrate too early. A lot of money on the Astralis side. Maybe Glaive lacking a little bit. Orb is back in the hands of Cyber, so let's see what he could do with that.
This time posted up, ready and waiting for Device. If Device was to go with the usual spot in mid that he likes to sit, Zywoo would have been ready for him. Instead, this time it's Device who was hanging out around A, setting up for his teammates instead. So adjustments on both sides being made here, and that is the game of cat and mouse. And again, Zipmix is so good with HEs. So much damage dealt to Vitality already.
They nearly take him down, which is a little bit surprising. It looked like at least he should have been able to do a bit more in return. But yeah, they've got long, which is that's a first step in the right direction, and he's gonna get caught. Oh, Nivira had the right idea, I think. Cyber though gonna be picking up Device, and Sip, yep, he is very low. If they realize it's him, a single grenade would probably do it. Glaive is far away, and he's flanking all the way out long. So this is a very, very good fight for Vitality to be winning. Getting that 7th round, I don't think Glaive can do anything. I respect the fact that he's trying, but they know where he's coming from, and so out of bullets, that presents an even further obstacle.
You just got all the money, so you got to go for it, right?
Yeah,
you can take
that's
some
probably
guns
what he's
off
thinking.
of Vitality. They might not be able to full buy back up into
I'm real
it.
curious about this. So this particular situation here, Device even getting close to that is so uncommon for the kind of A play that we normally see out of Astralis. Normally, if they are losing long, they just let it go and they just retake the A bomb. They don't even care about it. So that's very uncharacteristic, and I'm really curious about that. I mean, it could have been the fact that Sip was low, that they think, all right, wait, he's so low, I actually have to make a play to try and make up for that. But you could tell it was a bit of an issue. Grenades raining in on top once again. They connect, and this time there's some spray behind it, but it is again Vitality that come up, even in spite of everything, with a bit of a lead here. Mega's down to 7 health. They're pushing into upper dark, but if they just go quick here, Vitality then they won't get here in time. The rest of Astralis, they're going to be too far away.
Yeah, it's so unfair. Shoxy survives with 1 health.
That's all you need.
Nearly getting that kill, but yeah, you're right. 1 health, and you can do the damage. You can hit the headshots. Glaive is slowly working his way up here on this flank, making sure that Vitality have not backed out of Longhouse. Vitality, they're only interested in pushing towards the site itself. And we've lost one of the flankers as well. Dupree off of Catwalk. Device is still here, though. Oh, what a shot from Nivera! Takes his head off, and Vitality setting themselves up for success here in the first half. They're going to come out ahead in the end with 8 rounds.
Oh, I think they've done very, very well. Normally, we like to say 8-7 is, sort of a sign of a somewhat even game. I really don't think that is the case right now. I'm so impressed. Like, I knew I was going to be similar. Vitality are a really cool team to watch, and they have definitely been preparing for this. Their T side is so much better than last time. It's looking so much fresher, and Astralis were not ready for it. 8-7 in favor of the Frenchmen in the first half here on Dust 2, and I think the second half that's coming up, where it's going to be Astralis on that T side, I think it's going to be very, very tricky for them to try and break through. We'll find out how that goes after the break. Stay tuned. We're on Dust 2, and the second half is coming right up.
And I want to give a quick shout out to HLTV for giving us the map statistics throughout 2020. They've finally gotten all of that data churned up and put together. And it's, this sets that up for this context standards that I was coming out of this first half with that you've been touching on, is just how CT-sided these two teams are.
Yes.
Because on average, across 2020, 51% T side, 49% CT side. This map played out average.
Yes.
But why is that different now with these two teams? That's the thing. Why are they special?
That would make you think it's fine. Like both teams have a good shot at winning this, but just because both of them usually are so good on the CT side, I expect Vitality to be very strong here, and I kind of expect Astralis. I wouldn't say necessarily bad. I just think they're going to be probably having a harder time at it here. I think that's what we've seen so far out of them. So I imagine that this 8-7 scoreline is actually super deceptive, and that there's a very good chance that Vitality could walk away with a victory here. Depending on the pistol round, I mean, that's going to be super important, especially for Astralis to try and win it. If they do, then I think maybe we're getting a bit closer. If they don't win it, oh man, I think then they're really in trouble. Megas has picked up a P250. We saw that when Vitality were on the T side, so something similar here. You can get those shots in. I like it. And he's running straight to upper dark. Not going to make contact with anyone. Bomb is set up over at long. Shox is just... He's not even peeking. Is this just some sort of trick for him to get a couple of quick shots off?
I think this is the bait and switch, right? RPK's baiting for him up on the site itself. So Shoxy just stays put. RPK's going to be the one to spot. And this could set up... I mean, dude, Shoxy's lethal with pistols. If you want to set somebody
100%.
up to just smash faces, it would be him.
And actually, Nivira's not that far away with a flashbang. So all he has to do is run into CT spawn, and he can throw it for Shox. He can just toss it out. Shox can just look into the corner and then go.
But this isn't going to work. Because Apex is here. He's going to see past this lurk smoke. He's going to see nobody coming through. Vitality are not going to bite. Zywoo, he's already rotating out.
Whoop. There's Magisk with the shot, though. That's important. Those are the flashbangs on the ground. Shox is there. He's going to get the one headshot, but he has been found. They know they're coming in. He's really boxed in at the moment. Magisk will find him. Another couple of kills. Great headshots coming through. 3 of them so far, and looking for more. Nearly getting that one. That's going to at least get him onto the site. Let's see if they can hold it and get the bomb down. Apex is now out on long, and he's about to have a really good angle against them. Swinging wide for the fight here. He's got... some explosive pistol rounds we've got going on.
We do, right? And it's the Zywoo factor once again. Although you got to give it to Vitality. They set up to counter this sort of fake. Apex's position right there outside of Upper Dark. He sees if anybody's coming through that smoke, going to use that lurk. It's early info. It allows for his team to set up towards A, but then you've got Zywoo who just shows up to clinch it for you, right? I'm thinking as soon as they've got that A side Astralis, that's it. They're going to get that plant, and it's going to be so difficult for Vitality. But the Zywoo factor, that's why he gets the big bucks. That's why Vitality have signed him on a multi-year contract. The guy is too good.
Outrageous. I mean, that second kill as well from Magus, the clean one tap on the guy in sight was very cool, but somehow it was not enough. And now, the fact that they don't have the bomb plant either, I mean, even that is a bit concerning potentially. Could have given them a lot more to work with. Deagle in play, but otherwise it's just Glocks all around. So I really think this is, normally, especially the current sort of version of Counter-Strike, I don't put that much emphasis on pistol rounds, but this time, definitely do. Zywoo getting some farming action in. Not even going to reload his SMG. He's waiting for more. And he follows up with an ace from the pistol clutch that he had in the previous round. Why not? That's 8 kills in 2 rounds, putting him at 20 and 10.
Eco Cobra!
I mean, why not? Why not?
Farm him. And yeah, that's the AWP if he wants it, guaranteed. He's going to hold on to the MP9 for now, it looks like. Although I'm kind of surprised about that. Why not just go to the AWP right now, this first fire round, and just smash his fellows?
There's something deliciously smug about not reloading your pistol at the end and just waiting with the bullet in. Like, come on, You think I'm reloading? You think I've fallen back from this position? But I haven't. I really enjoy it. I love it. 10-7. Again, you have to convince yourself somehow that Vitality can't win another 6 rounds on this CT side. Just even saying that out loud to me, I get an instant sense of how unlikely it is that they won't be able to do that. So I think I've made it clear right now. I really think Astralis are in trouble, as much trouble as they can get in right now. So if they turn it around, I'm really going to be impressed. Let's find out. Magisk clearing the corner. He's going to get instantly flashed, and now they're going to be pushing in on top. He can't see anything, and Apex actually lands a scout headshot, taking down Dupree. That is wild. He was close with a scout. He should probably have been dead right then and there. Glaive is going to die. I don't even know why he doesn't win that fight. It's an MP9 versus the AK-47, but now Sip sneaking through the smoke, and he's going to get obviously destroyed by Apex. I don't know what he was doing through the smoke either. I'm real confused.
This is just all over. This is just layers on layers, dude. All the times these two teams have played on this map, one against the other, it's mind games on mind games, and then the individual level coming through here. Device needs to make this play happen, but it's not going to. Shoxy catches him out. There was just too much pressure applied. And Vitality, man, when it comes to the game plan, yeah, look at that. I mean, Apex is going to be pumped. They're going to be ready for this. Well, it's like, all right, if this is an A split, cool. Focus on one side of it. Utterly destroy that one side, and then we can worry about the other. And so that's exactly what happens with Vitality. Pure focus on short, the flashes, the push, everything to just shut down that flank of Astralis, and then they can worry about long. Then that just goes all together nicely.
Yeah, the way that they handle that catwalk push is really well done. And obviously they hear the Astralis flashbang coming in, so they know when to throw their own. But I mean,
that was a nice
shot from Apex is out of. This is the part where I really don't understand it, because yeah, at this point it's not looking good for Astralis, but I don't get the part where Glaive can't win the fight against Cyber on the MP9, and then Sip walking through the smoke. Maybe I missed something completely. Maybe there's some part that I didn't understand, but that seems like, you know, a decision that's almost never going to work out in your favor.
Trying to make plays, right? Just trying to. At this point, you're kind of reaching.
Yeah,
are certainly telling themselves, which we, you know, what you've been saying so far is that, oh, we're pretty far behind now.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
We're in trouble. This is starting to get a little bit scary. This is Vitality's map pick, and they just want to keep picking Dust 2 into Astralis, and they're just going to keep doing it until they make it work. And clearly, they've done their homework, because right now it is working. Vitality in the lead, 11-7 on the CT side, and fully bought up, no worries at all. What can Astralis do here? Nicely done, though, Dupree with that shot, but then Zai was right there to shut him down. Glaive gone.
Sip next, just shooting them through. Shox actually panicked. He got flashed initially and just emptied, I think, his entire clip, which didn't seem like it was necessary, so probably a little bit high strung himself at the moment. Nivira, which, I mean, kind of a Dust 2 specialist, right? That's how they've been using him in the 6-man rotation, and I mean, the stats show it so far. He is really good at this map, so would trust him to try and take care of B like that on his own. Side was showing up in the meantime, and I think they're going to be fine here. Dupree and Device 2 versus 4 with Deagles.
And a lot of patience as Dupree is going to be posted up. Now he's managed to find that AK. He'll be able to bring this into the fight soon here. Apex going for the jiggle peek. Can just fall back as soon as he spots somebody. Yep. Smoke goes down. And this is going to slow things down considerably. Yeah. Standard stuff. Now, what I'm really curious to see, you know, there's a bunch to read off of now that we're finally starting to get a little bit deeper into the tournament. But in terms of like where these two teams are at, I'm very curious to see how Astralis's executes go on this, because they're not the lowest in the tournament, but they're not far off the lowest in terms of trades. And what I mean by that is trade fragging. One guy goes in, maybe he dies. You need to then get that kill on Zaiwu, except that Zaiwu gets a running shot onto Zipmix. Zaiwu's just freakish.
He's hard to stop right now.
This is something that could come back to hurt Astralis here on this T side, is if there's a little bit if they're off on their spacing, if they're not trading frags against Vitality efficiently. Vitality, they thrive on individual duels. They'll take those duels all day long. That's playing into their strengths.
I think from memory, some of the rounds that they won, Astralis, last time they were playing in the grand finals, I think were B splits. They had some really interesting B splits that actually didn't look like they should work out, but they kind of did anyway. So I'm curious to see if they're going to try and go back to that, and if Vitality are going to be aware. They're currently not really set up to counter a B split at the moment, so yeah, now might be sort of the time for it, but we'll see.
The thing is, I'm like, oh man, it's so good, but then we have Overpass coming up next, Anders.
Yeah, which is
Astralis have got the trap card. They've been waiting, and they have activated it in this series. Now we're going to get Overpass next, and that's going to be so sick between these two teams.
I mean, I just don't even know if it is. Who knows who that is a trap for at this point in time, you know? I'm waiting for that. RPK, this is very aggressive, and that's something we actually don't see that much normally out of Vitality, out on long. But taking away Sip, one of the heavy hitters right now on Astralis. They're pushing out in middle. They want to try and go for that split, but already Sideways here locking it down. Molotov on top. The bomb is trapped in middle, and they're running out of time right here. Sideways coming in from behind, shooting him in the back. Again, it was actually Shox on the other AWP. Sideways just keep picking them apart from the high ground there, and Meg is in a 1 versus 3. So that looked like Astralis as soon as they lose SIP, they think, oh dear, we have to do something. We have to make a play, and that is not at all the same as having a plan that you are dictating the pace off, and you're the one surprising them. That just looked like it was pure reaction. So really cool stuff here coming out from Vitality. They're now up 6 rounds. They have all of the money that they need, and I mean that double AWP, this is looking so good right now for them.
They're really focused. I mean, no bomb plant for Astralis. This is going to be another round of eco, or half buy coming in here. Pistols and Kevlar. They're just not getting up onto bomb site, Sanders. they're getting utterly smashed here. 5 rounds in a row for Vitality on this CT side, and it's not looking like it's going to get any easier here for Astralis. They're not getting onto bomb sites. They're losing all of their duels, and they're not as effective with utility either. So Astralis right now just feel kind of lost to me. Uncharacteristic, obviously, considering who they are. This is the most successful team in CSGO history.
I mean, I think at this point, right, just whatever else in terms of tactics that they might need, and figure out what works. Are we talking A splits or B splits, or just some other cool variation? The basic still has to be get the money away from Vitality, so they can't have that double AWP all of the time. That has to be, I think, step 1. So this is that they're in a deep hole at the moment. Shox, that's a pretty confident position to be in. Yeah, once you get the shot, you can't really escape. Glaive lining up the deagle. He can't get the last one, but Dupree can, and they win the round. A desperate round that they absolutely had to have. Dupree with a triple. I mean,
finally a clutch goes their way.
Yeah. That is sort of equivalent, I think, Samler, to just hammering in the ice pick into you're just falling off the face of the glacier, and that's what's happening to it. They might have just done that. I don't think that's safe at all right now. Not at all.
Just barely holding on, Anders. They're fighting. They're fighting. Dupree refuses to say die, and there's Device. Gets the shot on Nivera at long. Gets that timing perfectly, and now is Shoxy really thinking about this? Is he going to get aggressive into Upper Dark? Because they are going to be ready for him. Device catching Zywoo in mid as well. Astralis coming into it.
I mean, if they run through, though, Shox could still line up an incredible multi-spray, but I'm not sure it's going to be easy. They're going to throw all the grenades through. If he turns around, he's going to be flashed. Yep, there we go. Apex is there for a nice headshot, though. And they're going to have to fall back. They realize there's too much firepower. Device is out in the middle. All of Vitality are inside of B, and they can't escape because they're being just completely guarded by Device. So what an incredibly odd round.
Wow, and Zipnix isn't even stopping, dude. He is just sprinting to the site. They know exactly what happened.
They know what is going on. That's a very, very strange round that you're not going to see a lot.
Well, it certainly helps when you start getting some opening kills.
Yeah, so as cool as this is, I mean, what a round out of Device. The one thing, if you had to be a bit critical, you'd have to say, what are the chances that he could keep doing that round after round? And fair play if he can, but just normally when you're playing a team at the level of Vitality, that will just be very hard to do. So
yeah,
though, you have to ask yourself sometimes, if you win a round, you have to think, can we replicate that? Or did we learn something in that round that we can replicate? And I'm not sure that's exactly the case, but well done.
You're going to have the rounds that you can replicate, right? The ones that you've prepared, where it's what we call set strategies, where you have the time to set it up, you have all your grenades, you go ahead and throw all your nades in, and it all kind of links together beautifully like a puzzle. Whereas you're going to have rounds that rely just off of opening kills like that one. And Astralis, at least across the maps in the last 2 months, 47% success rate on entries on T side. That's not super high. It's kind of baseline. So it just shows the difference. 62% on their CT side. So you can see the difference already. Astralis have to work a lot harder to get entries on T side, and they need to take full advantage when they do get those entries, and we just saw that. And now taking over long. Here's the change of pace. They've committed.
Not that much on the Vitality side to fight with. One of the M4s already down, and the second one follows right after. So they're going to be fine here. Now, this is I think the really interesting part of this match here. Finally, Vitality out of money. That double AWP went away. They have a round here where they're not up against the AWP of Zywoo, and I don't know, Glaive though. A lot of people coming for him. They line up nicely for him to get a quick double. They'll just clean it all up. But yeah, so as long as they can keep that AWP out of the hands of Zywoo, I think that's where things get real interesting. Is he going to glass cannon it though? It's tempting, isn't it?
Go for it.
It's real. Or someone else is going to buy it for him.
Apex is going to go ahead.
Fair play. But 10 to 13. I remain skeptical. I still think very likely that Vitality will find a way to close this.
So, Anders, come on. If we take a look at the first half, right? 6 rounds in a row, and then it went on to be like 8 rounds, 7 rounds, and then another 2, right? These 2 teams, it's just streaks.
Very streaky.
Big streaks. And that's what we've seen so far in the second half as well.
They're running through the flames. They're taking so much damage. I can't believe it. They're just a shot away from death. Cywo's going to pick up 2 with the AWP. And easy there for Shox. He just continues. He can't even see anyone and still makes it work. A quad kill at the end for Cywo. They just showed up where he was. And he doesn't miss a single thing. He is 32 and 14. We've only played 24 rounds. What an absolute god.
The gamble doesn't work. This is agony. Xyp9x even getting that opening kill on Nivera, and then it's just, this is the change to double doors, where ZywOo can cover more ground with that AWP now that he can look up to Upper Dark with the op from mid. Doesn't need to commit to the site in the same way as he had in the past. And well, that's just the ballsiest of calls from Glaive. Run through mollies onto B when your back is to the wall going into it. Now Vitality, you're up on 14 rounds.
I have to assume someone was trying to smoke that and it just failed somehow. Oh, they're being pushed in on Shox. There's a lot of people waiting. Nivera, he's going to try and cancel that out. And Device, actually for once, missing a shot here, so that could get interesting. Actually, sorry, yeah, he's back looking for him.
Device just wins that down, though.
Yeah, that is huge. So 3 versus 5. This is a round that Astralis should win, you know, 90% of the time.
Barring some miraculous play here, which is absolutely possible with Vitality and the likes of the caliber of the player they have on their team. Any of these guys can come up with the multi-kills if Astralis slack off. And so Astralis, you can see, slow stuff, clearing their angles, working together. Glaive and Xyp9x buddy system right now.
Yeah, and Vitality are actually doing something similar, right? They're almost all on the A side. Nivera is close enough that he could sort of fall back. Oh, but they're going to get caught.
Yeah, surprise, surprise.
Interesting. That AWP on Nivera is mega valuable right now. It's so important that they keep it. And how does he even escape? I mean, right now they're not at least boxing him in, but if they come, there's no way he can hold on.
Oh, I like how both of these teams are just deciding to make plays at the end here. Doesn't even matter. It's not even like they're looking at the scoreboard when they make these calls. You know, Glaive goes charging, like calls for the run. What?
What is going on? Device?
Device? What the? How does he not hear that shot?
I don't know. He obviously thought it was somewhere else, so fair play. Nivera getting another one, and finally Glaive will take him down. I think the loss of rifles in terms of money, it doesn't really matter that much for Astralis at this point in time. It's a little bit annoying, but I don't think that's what really makes the difference.
Well, barring Device cutting me off with his antics there. The interesting thing is that Vitality then call that aggro play from Shoxy. Shoxy going, charging top banana, or top to Upper Dark there.
Yeah.
But the difference is that Vitality didn't have money to be messing around. They didn't have the money to be losing that round. Look at them. Now they have to go to pistols here. And that puts them on the back foot and gives Astralis another chance at getting into this second half in a meaningful way.
Apex is ready to take the fight even with just a scout and against the entire Astralis team in the middle. That's pretty brave. RPK being flashed in. That is a nice headshot. The Deagles could still do it. RPK with a double kill. All right, 3-on-3. And Vitality actually being really successful in having that fight in middle.
These flash setups from Vitality are just spicy.
Really good. Sip walking out. Apex, can he get the headshot? Because if he doesn't, it's going to be trouble. Let's just see. He's going to be walking up with a USP. Doesn't even need it. Just going to take down Sip, who already thought that hit was clear. And there's Shox coming in. Oh, no. Magisk, 1 versus 3. How do you bring this back? You have the time and you have the bomb. Those are some good signs, but Apex is already out here and he's put him on 57. And now the game is up. He knows exactly where he is. So they're just gonna be coming for him. Magisk, that bomb needs to go down, and then you'll have to figure out what to do afterwards.
Yeah, and it's perfect. Shoxy and Nivera can buddy system up together. So bomb needs to get planted. Nivera's being patient here. He's waiting for Shoxy. Shoxy's collected an AK of his own, and now they have 2 rifles to work with, and Magisk has no information. He has no idea where they're coming from. He's going to line the first one up. He's going to go for it! Magisk gets both! They did everything they could, Vitality. They did it right. They went together. Just not able to get the trade. Magisk is too good.
I can't believe it. This game is so unbelievable. The fact that they nearly lose that, the fact that it has to be brought back from a 1 versus 3, where, you know, 1 versus 3s like this, it's one thing if Magisk could sneak in a kill and then almost be at the bomb site, but the fact that he gets the kill on long, it's so far away from the site, Vitality have all the time in the world to set up and think about what's going on. Yeah.
Just keeps delivering, doesn't it?
It's out of control. 14-12. This game is, I mean, the compare and contrast between this game and the grand finals of the last season is, yeah, it's quite something.
I love it, dude. This is fantastic. And it's kind of like a best of 3 of best of 3s with these as well.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because it's like Astralis, they won in, what was the Blast? No, IM Global Challenge, they won, but they lost in the Blast Premier Fall. So it's just, they're going tit for tat. It's just going to be back and forth. It's what we can expect from the top 2 teams in the world right now. They are just at each other's throats. And again, same call.
Yeah, they're going to be rushing for it right for the smoke. They take him down, Navira. A couple of bullets more. I think he could have had a triple then. He's in for it, but Dupree will take him down, and they drop Apex through the double doors into middle, and Saibu and RPK, they never even get close. They're going to have to call the save immediately. That is such a bold call to be making. I can't believe they keep getting away with it.
Dude, you got smashed last time you call that, and Glaive, you go back? You do it again? Vitality never expect that. Let's see, already the opening here. That was just a thing of beauty, taking Nivera out, but Shoxy just got bulldozed.
Yeah. And, I mean, that was shot through the smoke. He walked right into it. Apex is clearly feeling the frustration. I can't really blame him. 14-13 going to be the scoreline here. And, I mean, I am already very impressed with the fact that Astralis have managed to get this many rounds on the T side. It's way more than I was expecting. So, now, can they get the last few? If they bring this back to 16-14, that would just be something. Already, I think we're getting everything that we could have possibly wanted here. 28th round is coming up, and top of the scoreboard, I mean, it's still Cyber with 33, and to find the second in the server is Dupree at 23, so a full 10 kills behind him.
I don't think you can buy him.
That says something.
Sorry about that, didn't mean to cut you off. It's just, you know, speaking through the thought process, but looking at the economy for Vitality, if they force, that lets Astralis get up to 15 rounds.
Yeah.
So you can't, I think they made the correct call here. They're just going to go ahead and play around the M4. They're stacked up on long. Astralis thinking about getting out here as well. Delayed smoke. Where's the flash? Over the top. We're going to see it in a second. There it is, and they push right in.
Now, I mean, it's cool you have the rifles and all the players in the right position, but that's also the position to lose them in. This M4, yep, it's on the ground. Sideways up here with the AWP, and there's just a whole sea of smokes out here, making it very hard to see anything that's going on. Flash is in. He's still going to pick up Dupree, but now that they know where he is,
yep.
Do you really want to keep fighting him? Does that make a lot of sense?
And they should know that Apex doesn't have a gun either, so, I mean, no reason to overextend against this. Just slow it down. You have a minute on the clock if you're Astralis. You can take your time about this, gather up again, and just take advantage. And so Vitality, I mean, that you can be frustrated, but at the same time, this is kind of what you were expecting. You were playing to let this get up to 14-14. And you go from here. Zaiwu has put himself in a position now as well to just back off to either site. Wherever Astralis wind up, he can back off and hold on to this op. So he can either be in a position to be a hero, or he can just save the op for the next round and make sure that they've got the double op if they want it.
Yeah, and for him, it's obviously, it is a coin flip. There's nothing that he could do. I mean, the only thing that he could have done to be sure is to go and check long, and I don't think that would have made a lot of sense either. So he's going to be quite far away, and the call will be made, I'm sure, to just save that AWP, because that is what's really important at this point in time. Wow. Yeah, they did push where the stack was for Vitality, but, you know, getting those early kills means they just get stuck out there on long, and they couldn't get away.
It's the nades, the difference in nade timings as well. Just really late flashes coming over the top. Going in dry as well, Zipnix, that's ballsy, right? Just going straight through that smoke, no flash to help out, and then flashing behind it. Just sick stuff coming in here from Astralis, and they were ready. Brilliant work, just hitting the shots.
Yeah, really, again, it's so important just finding those early kills at that fight so that you don't get overwhelmed. They managed to do that just fine. It's going to be 14-14. It will be all tied up. Now, the AWP is going to be saved, it looks like, unless Saiwu somehow steps back into SIP in the middle, but small chance that will happen. So at least they still have that. And it is not nothing, is it? That is the super weapon that they've brought to this game here, Vitality. A bit of a classic type of game from them, where it's Saiwu just doing everything that he can to try and win the game for his team.
What's truly amazing about how this map has played out is just how streaky it's been. I mean, 7 out of the last 8 rounds, Astralis have won. Before that, it was Vitality taking 5 rounds in a row. It's
I
just
really can't believe it.
one gets control, and then they refuse to let go. And now we're here, 14-14, tied up, going at it, and ZywOo's got 34 frags in regulation. He's got 2 more rounds, Anders. He could go to 40 if he wanted to.
Let's do it. Let's see that happen.
The beautiful thing is that dupreeh is right up there as well. 26 kills on his side. So dupreeh is just snapping headshots right now, and that is fantastic to see. He is one of the main drivers behind the Astralis machine.
So very, very standard setup coming out here from Vitality. So far, they don't have a lot of information. RPK, he's going to have an advanced warning if they come out long, but it is looking more and more like it's leaning towards the B-bomb side for the minute. That's a nice pick-off. Apex taking out Glaive. ZywOo's there to drop the device right afterwards. And that is about as good of a start as you're going to get here. A little bit of Molotov damage on top of it. Why not? So now it's time to make the plays. dupreeh trying to do that, seeing if he could catch anyone out here on long, but he's walking into another AWP. Could have already got himself killed right here. And there is an M4 down below. He's looking for the headshot. He's going to pick that one up. Actually, Magus to do that. Jumps down and trying to catch him. That's the element of surprise. And now the bomb is being planted up here. Now, finally, the run comes to an end for dupreeh. It was a long push. Headshot and Sip as well. Oh, dear. Out on long. Magus, he's going to lose the fight. So it's all on Sip. 1 versus 2 to try and clutch it, but this is also what he's made for. Flashbang into the window. Sip gets the headshot. He needs just 1 more shot. He's right in front, and Sip, he's toying with him. He takes him down. Of course he does. 15-14, and Astralis have map point.
And I mean, their faces say it all. What an amazing round. And let's take a look at it again here. We have to relive. This hold is nuts. The gamble doesn't work for dupreeh. He gets the opening kill on Apex, but then goes down to CT and gets nothing for it. He just delays them a little bit. ZywOo hits that shot. And they're going to be losing their minds on Astralis' side because, again, the king of clutch, Xyp9x. So long as Xyp9x is alive at the end of the round for Astralis, there's a chance. There's a chance that he wins that round for you. It's just what he does. He is legendary for how ice cold he is in the clutch.
I mean, that round, that's a 5 versus 3 that they end up winning. This is an absolutely mythical T side out of Astralis. It's so hard to explain how unlikely all of this is, and it's just, we're seeing it right now. It's just unfolding in front of our eyes. I would have never guessed this.
56% win rate on T side over the last 2 months for Astralis. But to do it in such a fashion is just insane.
I'm really shocked. Here we go. Out long, dupreeh going to be flashed through, trying to see if he can catch anyone down in the pit. They don't have a lot to work with here. Some FAMAS, and dupreeh's tapping away, and Apex walks right into the bullet. And now, actually, they're committing quite a few people out here. RPK gets 1, but if they're quick about it, they can catch this B-bomb site. Not undefended, but the backup is going to be far away. They should be able to smoke off ZywOo and just make sure he can't do anything past that CT spawn. And Shoxa and Nivira inside. I mean, look at what they have. Not that much to work with.
No, they don't have many nades. Nivira's got an MP9, and he's already been tagged down to half. Thing is that when you slow it down, this is ZywOo's usual spot, towards car, towards A, with the ops posted up like this. This is his usually stomping ground. Astralis maybe just trying to play off of this right now because they haven't seen him in mid.
Yeah. But look at what ZywOo's doing. He's actually moving close to catwalk, which is, again, if you can delay the actual entry into the B-bomb side, let's say you smoke them off in door and window, then ZywOo has time to get in there and try and shoot them in the back. So let's just see. There are the smokes going up initially. So now everyone knows. Vitality will have heard the double smoke. They should be able to guess what's coming next. Shox is going to throw out a little bit of a counter nade. 37 seconds. Let's see what they could do here. 4-on-4, and all of the weapons favoring Astralis right now. ZywOo and RPK both coming in from the catwalk, but there's the crunch coming. 30 seconds now. Spray is in, and Shox goes down. Next in line is Nivira. RPK just barely catching Sip, but I'm not sure it's enough. RPK is going to get dropped. ZywOo now in a 1 versus 3 with an AWP to retake against 3, and he will go down 16-14 as they absolutely bring it home. Astralis with a win on Dust 2 in the most unlikely fashion. I can't believe that this actually worked out.
Shoxy's face says it all, Anders. They cannot believe that this just happened, Vitality. This was their map pick. Everything was going their way. And